family come from Angola. So they always told me about the Angolan Civil War and how it happened. And, you know, they told me the story from lived experience. And then I went to school and I started learning about the Cold War. And actually what the books told me about the Cold War and the proxy wars and all these civil wars was quite different to what my family told me. So I was thinking, okay, there's a glitch there. That doesn't quite seem to be the case. And then I started to unravel and to open up more. And that's when I actually really understood that history is written by the victor. And at the moment, we are losing. So our history is not coming to the forefront. We need to start winning so that we can start putting our truth out there and allowing success to be something that we can reflect ourselves on, to allow, you know, respect to be something that we can reflect ourselves on, you know, to allow morality to be something that we can reflect ourselves on. Not all of these examples of all these people that are now so famous and representing the Black community. And to me, they don't represent what I see to be Black. They don't represent my aunties and my sisters from Angola, the real Black community that I know and that I come from. This represents simply the toxic, the negative end result of the pain and the exploitation that our ancestors experienced, that erased our identity completely, you know, that got us to have to act in animalistic ways that are not actually reflective of who we are. Our culture is very rich. Our culture is regal. You know, our culture is actually advanced. I started to go back into reading about the first time that the Portuguese landed in Africa and what they discovered. And it was not the animals, crazy monkeys jumping on a tree. There were civilized societies that had history and culture beyond what the Europeans even had. But this is things that our people don't know. So how can they ever associate themselves with good things? They just know ghetto, shooting people, all these rappers that all they talk about is money, hoes, all these chains that don't mean anything, you know? That's what they see to be success. And of course, we're all delinquents then. Of course, Black people are going to be always looked at bad through the stereotypical eye. Of course, racism is never going to stop because you're all acting in ways that actually perpetuate that judgment.
Right. Very important. Yeah. I like that. You're right. And you know what? The Most High warned us what would happen to us in Psalms 83, verse 4 and 5. For us breaking his commandments, he said you would lose your identity. You would forget who you are. Like you said, it's true. Read that. Psalms 83, 4 and 5.
Psalms chapter 83, verse 4. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
We don't remember that we're the Israel of the Bible. All the nations conspired against us, all of them. Okay, they conspired against us when they conquered us and enslaved us. Like you mentioned, the Portuguese, Pope Nicholas V, he wrote the papal bull to allow slavery. It was in 1441. And that's when Spain and Portugal began the slave trade, the transatlantic slave trade. It was through the Christian church. That's how it started. Yeah. And before that, you had the Arabs, the sub-Saharan slave trade, where they forced us to be Muslim. They took, during the Zanj Empire, they took us to Iran, Iraq, India, Pakistan, and forced Islam on us over there. So all nations had a hand in our destruction. And that's what we have not learned. We thought it was only the white man, but it was not only him. They all had a hand in our downfall. Whoa, that's some heavy stuff right there.
It's heavy, but it's needed to be known. You know, it's about time that you know we start to express the wealth that runs through our veins, you know, the power, and because things like that don't happen for no reason, you know, for that much strength to be applied against, you know, a people's is like, really, they must be really a serious target for you to have to really go that crazy for it, for you to really take such drastic movements against these people. And you know, I hope that you don't get cancelled. I hope that you don't, but you are already shadow banned, by the way. I couldn't find you how to write your full name. I think I'm also shadow banned, I'm not gonna lie. So, and again, it's crazy to me. I am a logical, sound person. I'm saying that it's crazy to think that you could be somebody that has any label attached to hate speech. That's where you see the glitch.
Yes.
That's how you see the glitch.
So,
so what are currently kind of, I know we're veering away from a little bit the epidemic of modern women and all these things, but obviously I'm also quite intrigued by your movement, because I do understand why you would have, a negative light shining on you. But what have been some of the main obstacles that have been thrown your way in your building this community?
Lies. There was a shooting in New Jersey, and the Anti-Defamation League said that the Israelites, my group, was a part of it. So the FBI came, interviewed. We said, where? I said, show me the photos. These are Muslims. It was a Muslim man and woman that went into a place and shot people up and killed. This was a couple of years ago. But Jonathan Greenblatt went on the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne the God and lied and said the Israelites did it. And they keep pushing this narrative. Why? Because we're teaching, we're the Jews of the Bible, we're the Israelites, and they're not. That we must protect our lives, protect our wife, our children, bring our families back together. And they say hate speech. That is hate speech. So we are deemed a detriment to society or the social fabric of white supremacy. I'll say it that way.
Yeah, well, let's keep it PG. But yes, I fully understand that, and like obviously defamation of your character to kind of decrease the credibility of your movement. So how did you start? How did this enlightenment come to you? What was the turning point, the experience that made you think, hold on a second, this is not quite right?
Well, me and my wife, who was my girlfriend at the time, we almost got ran over by a taxi that jumped the curb, and it missed us by, I'd say, 3 feet. And I said, you know what? We could have died just now. The car was smashed in. I said, we need to find answers. We don't know anything. So me and her went on a trek. We went back to church, and we learned God is white, Jesus is white, love everybody. God is white, Jesus is white, love it. Everywhere we went, God is white, Jesus is white, love everybody. I'm like, where do we fit in? Where do our people fit in?
Yes.
So then I'm at work one day, and a friend who I knew years ago, he came in I was at a print shop, and he gave me a flyer. He said, hey, we shook hands. Hey, good to see you, blah, blah, blah. He said, can you make 100 copies of this flyer? I said, sure. So while I'm making the copies, I'm reading it. And it said, we're the Israelites. We are the people of the Bible. And I said, what does this mean? I said, wasn't Jesus white and God white and the angels white? He says, no. He said, have you ever read the Bible? I said, no, I really listened to the preacher. He says, get a Bible. He said, I'll meet you after work and I'll sit down with you and show you. So he showed me that God, Jesus, Solomon, the prophets were all black men. The prophetesses, black women. And I was so shocked. My mind, I was like, oh my God. So I wanted to learn more. So he took me to the School of Learning, where there were 7 elders, and they taught us the pivotal points, God's law. They showed us what it means to be a young man, how to love a woman and not have a girlfriend, how to get married. So they taught us all the things that my own fleshly father did not teach me. And I always honor and respect my leadership for that. So now many of them have died, and now I carry it on today. So what I learned from them, I'm carrying on teaching the young men and young women that come in amongst us. And the many older women and older men come in amongst us too, which is a God blessing, and we teach them as well. So that was back in 1990. That's how it all started. And from there, brothers were just in India. We got a school in India. We were in Ghana. We built a school from the ground up in Ghana. And that's what we do. We build schools of learning for our people to come and learn the truth of the Bible, not the lies, not white supremacy, but the truth, and nothing but the truth, whether they like it or not. And it's been a blessing. And we got many obstacles, but the fight carries on. We know eventually they may kill me. So one day if they kill me, understand that's what'll happen. You know, and that's what we do. Look at all these young men. No fighting amongst each other. No longer. They come from the drug life, the gang life, dysfunctional homes, learning and teaching the word of God. There's nobody else that's been able to successfully do this, bringing families together like this. And there's a lot of envy and hatred out there, but I love our people. And the ADL will not succeed. These white people will not succeed. I'm telling you.
No.
All of their lives are being undone. Their lives are being undone.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, that is very powerful, you know, because that is really kind of, you've been able to, through your teachings, you've been able to kind of quench a fire that has been, you know, burning in people's, through their scars, you know, and it's good to see that there's the examples of people turning their lives around, you know, through making the right type of adjustments, which they would have felt like they were sacrifices, but really it's just a very nice adjustment for your own well-being, for your own prosperity. It's amazing. Obviously, I hope that, you know, you're still able to carry on this message and for the community to grow, because whatever the case is, as far as I'm concerned, what I'm most happy about to hear with about your movement is the fact that it's empowering, regardless of what it means, regardless of whatever people might think. It is empowerment. The fact that you're telling Black people you are the chosen one, something that nobody has actually really told. No, that's powerful. That is what people need to hear. Let them feel special. Let them understand that there's a bigger purpose and a mission, and that you don't have to be degenerate. You don't have to be an inferior member of society. God forbid. Why do you think you were even used to be a slave? Why do you think that your mind was broken, that your body was broken? Because you really were that strong. Why do you think as a community we are so strong? Our rituals and traditions like permeate through us, but the outside world is consistently trying to ruin this.
Yes. Hey, that's the school in Ghana, Kumasi.
That's
That's the school we built.
amazing.
Yeah. So the donations we get is not used for our personal gain. It's used to build schools. It's used to help the poor amongst us. So that's what the donations are used for. They're used for traveling, to get to these various areas, to build young men and young women up. I keep
No, that's
saying young,
amazing.
not so much young, it's men and women. You know,
Yes.
build
But
them
no,
up.
this is amazing, because again, that's obviously donations being used towards the right purposes. You know, they're not being, you know, slightly swept under the rug to go to buy a pastor a new Rolls Royce, which is things that you see very often, and they are making a mockery of religion, of spirituality, you know, and really, again, some of the things that are making people turn away from it. The people not wanting to, you know, donate, not wanting to get involved wholeheartedly into these things. So I'm really happy to see this. I love it. I love the fact that there's a lion. You know, there's strength, there's animation, there's life. It does, you know, it's great. I love this. Your movement is inspiring.
We have a channel called Watch and Read, which are for children, where we show the biblical characters that look like you and me, something that's never been seen before. So it's called Watch and Read. So if you get a chance, you know, if you get a chance, you'll love it. It's great. So yeah, that's me laughing on the left over there.
Definitely. No, this is amazing. This is amazing.
Thank you. All praises to the Most High.
So I have also another question to ask you, Bishop. So the purple, could you explain why purple? Why is this the attire?
Purple is because in John 19, I got to show you what they did to Christ. In John 19, this is why we chose purple. John 19, let's start at verse, is it 1? Come on.
John chapter 19 and verse 1. Then Pilate therefore took Jesus and scourged him, and the soldiers plaited a crown of thorns and put it on his head, and they put on him a purple robe,
Go ahead.
and said, Hail, King of the Jews! And they smote him with their hands.
So they mocked the Savior. They mocked, why? Remember, the Romans are Caucasians. They beat the black Son of God and mocked him by putting purple on him, saying he's a king, and then smacked him upside the face. So we put the same color on. Now we're going to go and raise our people up, and the joke's on them. The joke's on these Caucasians.
Okay, that makes sense. That's the nice irony, you know. You're gonna do it in the same way, in the same shame that you wanted to put him in, this is going to be our strength, and you'll see it, and it will be inevitably noticeable. Okay, that's really cool. I like that.
Okay.
I can understand why, obviously, you would be a threat, because there's a rebelliousness to the movement, but it's a peaceful rebellion. You know what I mean? It's a responsible one, but one that will definitely be able to make cause earthquakes in society. Because the moment that the community starts to wake up and starts to honor who they truly are, it's going to be unstoppable. Because again, another thing, don't forget, Black people are very intelligent as well. Black people are very strong. Black people can do all the amazing things that anyone can do. And then on top of that, we've been taken to this civilized world. So we've also learned the ways of the civilized world. So we can adapt and put it all together in a way that is so authentic, but so powerful. So oh my goodness, listen, I can only wish you the best of luck, the best of all the good and positive well wishes that I can send your way, because your mission is a very big one. It's an important one, but it's a very dangerous one. I know, because I can only imagine what it must be like to be in your shoes and to have the power of influence that you have to make a change that will actually turn the world upside down if done the right way.
Yes,
Whoa.
yes, that's right. It will turn the world upside down.
Whoa.
Thank you so much. Hey, you're great to talk to. So I don't know why people feel intimidated by you.
Because it's all relative to the person. Listen, this is the thing. I like to speak to sound-minded people. The moment that there are people that are saying things to me, not only with a lack of respect, with a level of superiority because they must think I'm stupid or something, and constantly expressing thoughts that I believe are more damaging than they are actually helpful, of course there's going to be friction. Because really, these people that I sit with, they're popular, but doesn't mean that they are actually people that should be leading. They're not people that should have those big voices. So of course I'm going to have friction. But when I speak to somebody that has the right values, I can do nothing but respect. I can do nothing but want to explore your mind, because there's a lot of value in what you have to say. There's a lot of wisdom that I can pick up on, that I can learn. And not only that, you've said a lot of things that have actually validated me, and you have made me feel comfortable to know that my mindset is not actually wrong, because what I believe is also backed up by your teachings, by your wisdom. So actually, they can call me crazy, delusional, masculine, modern woman, but no, I understand. It's just relative to the person. If you're not vibrating in the same level as me, we're not going to get on. So, sir, it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you as well. And I hope that you come to London soon.
Yes, I will. In 2 months, I'll be in London. 2 months.
Okay. So I'll keep it quiet. When you arrive, please, let's link up. I think it would be amazing to actually do a part 2 of this, get some community leaders from here to just continue to expand these conversations that have so much value. Now, obviously, I will have to bid you adieu. But before we do that, I would like from you, please, 3 things that you think the world needs to hear right now, whatever comes to your mind.
Jesus Christ is black. The Israelites are black people that you enslaved, and the Lord is coming back to save his enslaved people from oppression. Those are the 3 things.
Those are very good 3 things. Actually, that was a mic drop. That was it. That's all you need to know. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate your time, and I really, in this, just to manifest, I hope that this conversation spreads nicely so that people can fully understand what it is that you're doing and get some inspiration to just be better humans, better children of God, better children of this universe. Be kinder to humanity. Okay. Yes. So on that note, pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much. And I can't wait for part 2.
Okay.
Take care.
Take care. Shalom.
What is nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is